Between cryptocurrencies and Reddit-backed GameStop short squeezes, ordinary people have been able to make more money in the stock market than ever before. And if you have savings sitting around that you don't plan to spend soon, you'll actually lose 2% of that every year from inflation, since your money becomes less valuable when the Federal Reserve prints more of it.
Is the Fed just going to print money?
That's literally what Congress has told us to do. There's enough cash in the financial system, and there's an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve, an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve, an infinite amount of cash.
So the best way to offset that inflation and even make more money on top of that is to invest it. But how do you get involved in the stock market anyway, and what should you invest in? Today I'll explain what stocks and cryptocurrencies are, how to invest in them straight from your smartphone, and what stocks might make the most sense for you, whether you're trying to save for retirement, trying to save a little shorter term like for your first house, or even if you're trying to just get rich fast and make some crazy returns in the first year.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here.
I put a lot of work into these videos and I don't get many views, so if you do appreciate this information, go ahead and smash that like button. It really does help my channel out more than you'd expect, and it doesn't cost anything for you to do. Thanks a lot, and with that said, the first thing you'll need to know is what exactly stocks are. When you buy a stock, you're buying a very small piece of a company of your choice. If that company continues to do well, your stock will most likely go up in value, and if news comes out that the company is doing badly, your stock will most likely go down. Most brokerages also offer cryptocurrencies, which are essentially just online currencies that you're investing in with the hope that other people will also see their value, also invest, and then drive the price up by doing so. And then the other benefit to cryptocurrencies is just that you can spend them more and more as more places start to accept them. But before we get ahead of ourselves, in order to stake your money in anything like this, you'll have to choose a brokerage. A brokerage is just a company that handles the transactions you make, and it can be an app on your phone like Robinhood, Webull, or Acorns, or it can be a more traditional firm like Fidelity or Vanguard. There are benefits and drawbacks to all of these options, so if you're looking to save for retirement, you should go with something like Fidelity, because you can get a retirement account there that has some great tax options called a Roth IRA. Also, for example, if you don't want to pay a full $3,300 for a share of Amazon, you can now buy fractional shares with brokerages like Fidelity and Robinhood. That just means that you're buying a part of a share instead of a full one, so you could put $1 into Amazon and get a very small portion of that stock, and technically own a very small portion of Amazon. Robinhood is a good option for beginners because it's really easy to use and offers these fractional shares. There are drawbacks to Robinhood, like the fact that you're usually getting a very slightly upcharged price on any stock that you buy, but I figure most beginners will go with Robinhood just because it's so easy to use, so I'll use it as an example in this tutorial. The most important thing is that you start investing, not what brokerage you use. Also, if you sign up with the link in my description down below, you can get a free stock valued up to $225 from them just for starting to invest with them. It's usually worth more like $5 rather than $225 because it's like a random stock, but you usually get a cheaper one. But hey, it's still free money. Also, if you sign up with my link to Webull, which is basically just a slightly more advanced version of Robinhood that I'm in the process of switching to, they give you 2 free stocks, each valued between $8 and $1,600. That's a pretty good deal, and it's at least $16 for free. Anyways, I'll be using Robinhood in this example, and the next step will be to choose which stocks make the most sense for you to buy, which I'll separate into categories for 3 different types of people. Please keep in mind when you're investing your money that you should never use money you need for your everyday life, because even if you make smart choices and buy responsible things, there are natural ups and downs in the market, so you don't want to be forced to have to take your money out of your account when your account is on a downtrend. With that said, the first category you should probably look at is index funds. These are not actually stocks themselves, but they're a collection of a whole bunch of stocks. The idea behind this is that on average, the stock market grows about 10% per year, so if you invest in a bunch of stocks, you'll benefit from overall growth and minimize your risk. That's why this is the class of investments that inexperienced investors traders should really put the vast majority of their money into. You can go ahead and look up the Vanguard S&P 500, which is a collection of all of the top 500 companies in the US. If you invest $10,000 in the S&P 500, even adjusted for inflation, that'll turn into about $40,000 within 20 years on average. Or if you're looking for something with a bit more upside potential, you can go with something like QQQ or ARKK. I think these are called PowerShares, QQQ, and ARK Innovation Fund. These are more specific index funds with specific purposes because there are lots of index funds that don't just follow the top 500 companies, but instead exist in categories like innovation, tech, clean energy, any kind of specific category that you can probably think of. Whatever you choose, I suggest holding it long term because you're essentially guaranteed to make money with this type of investment if you wait enough time. The next category of investments you might be interested in is individual stocks. I recommend what's called blue chip stocks, which are the big, well-known ones like Amazon, Apple, Ford, and Disney. These companies have a low probability of failing, and their stock price will likely increase over time, although they're less diversified than the index funds I just talked about. Invest in them over index funds if there's a specific company in which you think people don't realize its full value, and you believe strongly that they'll start to do better in the future. This strategy is referred to as value investing, and you can use it for slightly less known stocks as well if you think they have good potential. The last part of this middle category that I'll include is top cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Although they're a lot riskier and their price tends to fluctuate a lot more than those blue chip stocks that I was talking about, they have begun to become more widely accepted as a store of value, and if you hold them for a long time, their history has shown that they tend to do you well.
Bitcoin is finite and cannot be inflated. I should buy some.
And that takes us to our last category, the one for people that want to make lots of money and make it fast. Keep in mind that there's much more risk when you're looking for serious gains, so in this case, it is even more important than usual to never spend money you can't afford to lose. If you're looking into this category, you should really just look at it as gambling with a little bit of side cash for the small possibility of upside potential. So one option for traders looking to make money fast is little known stocks, sometimes referred to as penny stocks, because there's always that chance that they double, triple, or quadruple in price alongside the chance that they completely fail. They can also look into obscure altcoins, which are similarly little known cryptocurrencies that don't have the history of the main ones like Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can only buy a few cryptocurrencies on Robinhood, but apps like Coinbase have a lot more altcoin options. Oh, also you can get $10 of Bitcoin for free if you sign up with the link in my description and deposit $100 to Coinbase. Risky traders can also bet on what's called stock options, but those are a bit more complicated to learn, so I'll leave that for another video. Let me know in the comments if you do want to learn about that though. Now that you know about the platforms available for you to invest with and the types of stocks available for you to invest in, you should be able to make an informed decision about where to put your money. If you just have a bunch of money sitting in a savings account that you don't plan on spending right away, I'd really suggest going ahead and putting it in some index funds because they're a great way to get started without knowing much about the stock market, and because over a long period of time, most experienced traders that know all about this stuff can't even do better than the S&P 500 I mentioned earlier. So some people would argue there's not even any reason to learn more about this than just invest in index fund and hold it there and stop at that, because that really will just do you pretty much as well as you can possibly do. So go ahead, get investing, start building wealth for your future, hit the like button if you haven't already, and this video helped you out at all. Really appreciate that, and if you're not subscribed yet, go and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button so you'll be notified about new videos that I come out with, because I do lots of challenges to make money online and informative videos about personal finance and all kinds of stuff like that. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video.
We're gonna drink tonight? Woo! Yeah! We're gonna get the ladies tonight? Yeah! gonna take shit from anybody, boys! No way! Oh, cause Saturdays are for the boys! Yeah, for the boys!
Oh no, shit. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. You guys aren't really supposed to see that.
Is this Tesla?
Yes.
I don't drive anything less than a Lamborghini. What do I look like, a peasant? I'm actually here to buy the place out.